Let me ask about your wine experience from your tasting room work. When you were educating guests about wine at Windmill Ridge Winery, what are some key wine characteristics you would explain to help them understand different varietals?
So, in helping them understand the different varietals, there's obviously a difference between white wine and red wines. I would tell them if they were tasting a Sauvignon Blanc, this one happens to be aged in stainless steel versus unoaked or oaked, and then give them some descriptors of a wine that has been aged in stainless steel. They don't impart any oak, so they tend to be a little bit more fruit forward. They tend to be a little bit more acidic and crisper. And then also provide them with examples of what they might be able to smell or taste on the tongue. With Sauvignon Blanc, sometimes they can be kind of grassy, depending if they're coming from New Zealand versus what's grown in Northern California. It tends to be a little bit more like gooseberry. You might get more the stone fruit. So I like to be able to tell them the difference between something that's been oaked and unoaked. When it comes in terms to red wines, there are different red wine varietals that have different characteristics. So, for example, the Pinot Noir tends to be lighter or medium bodied, depending on where it's grown, let's say in California, whether it's Russian River on the coast or down near like Monterey, the Santa Lucia Highlands, it will have a different flavor profile. So depending on that region, it could be light, bright cherry, a little bit more fruit forward and less oak. And there are other parts, if you're going along the coast, the fruit tends to be a little bit darker, so like dark cherry. And then the same like Russian River. You might get a little bit more of the medium cherry, not as dark, and a little bit more of an earthier component. So I always like to explain to them the different varietals, some of the characteristics that those varietals normally possess, and then depending on where they're grown in the region, what type of oak, how long it's been aged, and then be able to describe to them what that flavor profile is and what the aromas are from the nose in the glass.